just his positioning increased immensely. He had a couple positional errors at the beginning, but then he just turned it all around. And Fusion, they have to be on their toes. They have to take this very, very slowly and very carefully on what they're going to ban and what they're going to pick coming into this game, and then playing to the composition that they've picked for themselves, because they have been doing 1-3-1 split push with teams that don't really succeed with that.
Yeah, and the fact that they've had to ban away specific things, pocket picks, that gives an edge to their opponents. The Vayne, that's the third time it's banned away. They also take Gnar off the board just because they know they won't have the chance to first pick it if it's left open here.
Yeah, and they're saving that last ban. Syndra Kassadin off the field right now. A little bit of targeting at both Rux, or sorry, at both at Huhi and Maknoon. That champion. Lissandra might make it through this time.
Lee Sin might again too, and Shorter Ace, he's 2 for 2 on that champion right now. They may try to prioritize that. LeBlanc now banned away for Final 5, so they're remembering that game. Warwick,
oh boy.
They made it Lee Sin again. This might be the first pick for Shorter Ace.
If you take Lee Sin, Lissandra goes over to Fusion immediately. So you have to take Lissandra first round.
Too powerful of a pick, and yeah, that is going to give Nintendo X that if he does want it. He has a lot of other options as well. We have seen his Kha'Zix, we've seen his Jarvan. Pantheon has not made an appearance just yet, so there are a lot of options in that jungle, but do they prioritize it? It seems like they're thinking about what they want to do here in this Game 3.
Yeah, they've also locked in Lissandra as a flex pick, so if Final 5 somehow get their hands on like Jace, you don't know which one's going to go top, which one's going to go mid at all, until later on, when they actually have to do their runes and masteries, and Final 5 knew all along which way it was going.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of options there, although I feel like Gate's probably a little bit more of a Lissandra player than Rux, but still.
He played it the first game.
Yeah, he did. There's going to be quite a lot of options on the board still for Fusion. They are going to look at Janna and Jarvan as well. They lock those in. As the timer ticks down, Glebe's going to have the Janna this game.
I don't know. They take the Janna away from Rule 18, which is good because he's been playing his heart out on that. Kind of has the Nami, a little bit of Lulu in his back pocket. He does play a little bit of every support, but he favors more of the defensive ones as opposed to the things like Braum and Thresh. And then Nintendo taking the Jarvan in conjunction with the Janna is a little questionable because one is an engaged, the other one's a disengaged champion.
Yeah, but they have to have something in mind here. The fact that they gave up the Lee Sin to Shorter Ace, and like that's the third time they've done it. They have to just be confident that they're able to outplay here. Nintendo has something in mind with this Jarvan pickup, a little bit different than last time, I'm thinking. Oh,
I mean, it could be a Maknoon Jarvan top against Lissandra. It's possible that it could be. You'd have to all in her and just kind of try to blow her up early and then continue to do that because Jarvan kind of snowballs when he does get an offensive item like Hydra. But like that's going to be the Nami fallback again. Kind of no surprises here so far from what Final 5 have picked up for themselves, just playing to their strengths. They're like, we've done it once, let's just do it again. We know these champions through and through, and then Fusion are kind of the ones that are having to adapt during this champion select and try to throw a new strategy at Final 5, because what they've been throwing at them now hasn't been working.
Yeah, a lot of questions on the Fusion side, and they're actually debating if they want to pick up this Ezreal right now. Would be another optional pick, as we've seen him played mid. The Rumble being contemplated. In the end, we'll switch back to Lucian for now. He does lock that one in, so Corki is available, and he didn't take it.
Didn't take the Corki, but at the same time, it's not something that's going to be threatening here to be taken from Final 5. So if they could lock in the Corki and throw it mid, and maybe Huhi plays it, that's something that's also on the table. I think he might go with something more teamfight oriented. At this point, if Huhi has like a really good Orianna, he could throw that in there. But right now, they're setting up for these mid-game team fights on Fusion's side.
Yeah, they're definitely going to try and take that and snowball it out if they can win this one. Because the later the games have gone, it tends to be Final 5 getting a little bit better. Obviously 2-0 up now, but generally speaking, they seem to have played just with a little more finesse the longer the game goes. We'll see what they take for their final 2 picks here. They still need to fill out an AD carry in top, and it's going to be another Caitlyn, as well as the Aurelia, so likely here we see Gate on Lissandra.
Caitlyn is really good in conjunction with Nami because as soon as you actually release the auto attack, if Nami Tidecaller blessings you and the auto attack is still in the air, it'll apply the Tidecaller's blessing. So when you go up, you know 100% that the person is going to trade. You just increase their trading potential and give them that slow.
Nice. And the CC is pretty strong here from Final 5 side. Just about everybody, even Caitlyn technically has CC if you count Yordle traps.
And look at that too. The fact that they locked in the Rumble meant that they showed what they were playing top, and then they switch it around and it's an Aurelia top and Lissandra mid.
Yeah, I really like that adaptation here from Final 5, and they had that option all along, and they do exercise it here. So instead of Rux this time, it's going to be Gate playing that one in the mid. And you have to think now in Fusion, what do they take here? What does He want? Or do they mix it up and do something even crazier?
A lot of discussion going on here. 6 seconds, 5 seconds left to pick that last champion for them. And it's going to be a mid-Zed against a Lissandra.
Yeah, that is going to be an interesting matchup here. And I can't help but thinking Fusion, they've gotten a little mind-gamed here by this set so far and what Final 5 was able to accomplish in this champion selection.
Yeah, the thing here is that Gate is going to have a really good time in this mid lane, harassing Huhi over and over again, getting some of this damage off. But at the same time, when the ultimate comes out, he'll just make himself invulnerable.
Exactly, and it's all about that timing, and we've seen at the level that these guys can play at that just those little inches really matter, and that's when those outplays happen. Huhi's been fantastic today, but honestly, Gate, I feel, has been better.
Yes, Gate has been a lot better. Even with his split pushing in that game 1 on Zed, he showed his performance on that champion, his decision making in terms of where I need to be on the map in relation to where my team is getting creamed on the map. Because he's just like, everybody's top and they're dying. All right, time to get bottom. And he just did really dirty work there too. It was really impressive to watch his decision making on that champion. And then in like comparison to who he did the next game was not even close.
No, and his teams were in a very different boat as well. Yeah. But it was just such a fantastic job that he was able to accomplish, and it saved him. It saved his team quite a bit. And I mean, we could be looking at it one way, we could be looking at an 0-2 the other way around. Right. I mean, you never know how those momentum swings are really going to affect the larger portion of the game. And he really is a huge team player.
Yeah, I feel like Gate and Short Array started getting their act together in terms of synergy later on in the game. And I actually like this setup here because you have the jungler between the mid laner and the top laner, and then you have your AD carry and support sitting together in the back.
Yeah, you just want to hang together until you can do it. And also, this is where the shot calling comes into play too. The back half of the room is where the shot calls are happening for both these teams, and it's worked out quite well for Final 5 right now. But look at that, smiles all around their faces. Short Arrays, he is all a giggle.
Well, it's also funny too because that's usually how you end up team fighting is with your AD carries behind you. So he's like physically behind you in the room.
Got to get right mentality for it. But here they go, marching out the gates.
Get in front of me.
Yeah, 3 members in the middle here for Final 5. And I feel like there's no need to do any shenanigans here. They're just going to start it off normal because they're 2 games up. They don't have to try anything sneaky.
Yeah, the level 1s have been kind of falling flat on both sides. We've seen like a heal be blown and some damage, but like no real buff trading has happened. There have been some later jungle invades from the Lee Sin on Shorter Ace, but that's about the extent of these early game confrontations. And then we saw Prototype take it to Niantanso last game in the bot lane.
He's so comfortable on this Caitlyn, and there's not a lot of AD carries that will play her in this meta. Still very strong in the laning phase, falls off a bit in the mid, and of course late, you're not going to hyper carry, but again, Final 5, they have this great trade-off of power spikes that they can really make work for them.
Yeah, and a thing to consider in this top lane is that Rux is on Aurelia. I know he really likes his champion, but his worst performance in this tournament has been on Aurelia. He went 1, 2, and 0, had almost no impact on the game, and is very easy to keep down.
Yeah, they're going to have to not really think about that one going forward. I mean, it was an option pick. I think it's really all about trying to get those lane counters because Final 5, they build momentum pretty quick.
Yeah, and here's the thing too, is that top lane Aurelia isn't like other top laners currently. Like Rumble is always going to do fine with an ultimate that he places. Maokai's always going to get tanky. Mundo's always going to do his thing. Then you have Lissandra, who's always going to be a lockdown CC bot. Aurelia is very item dependent. She's very easy to shut down. And look at this, the invade coming out here. Short Race is going to have to book it. Rux and him are going to double jungle. And actually going to let them start at the Gromp. Yeah. It's a lane swap here.
And this is Fusion saying we don't really want to deal with that bullying lane. Yeah, they're going to get this vision out on that one. They'll have a timer. They'll have the fact that Nintendo and MacNoon are both here trying to contest this blue, and that's actually just going to prompt the buff switch around, but they took their time about it.
Go away, Wolf Spirit. Hey, listen.
Oh, dude, I'm having bad flashbacks now. Don't do that. Up in the top lane, Nien and Glebe are going to have a little bit of free farm, doing their best to freeze this one, and this will be one of those laning phases where we see the good old double jungle. Buddy system.
Yep. The buddy system coming back out here. 4 men in that top lane, but we are going to see Glebe Larbu actually back already, pick up some wards for himself, and head to that bot lane. Trek down there, and MacNoon is also going to be on that journey as well.
That's a nice adaptation to be able to do that a little bit quicker, and this gives Nien a decent bit of advantage because even though he's down in CS, he can get that experience a little bit quicker. It's a nice move for Fusion, and they need to get any edge they can in this early game.
Here's the thing, though, is how used to lane swapping is Prototype, and compared to Nien. at this point, because this is a lot on the AD carries and their wave manipulation. You can see that the top lane has a huge wave actually pushing towards Nian Tanso, whereas this bottom wave isn't frozen at all. It's actually pushed up.
And they're moving so many people down here because Rux is just doing his job to zone while Short Race Relay Team take that blue away, or rather trade it right on back. And Prototype, yeah, he's doing fantastic just in the solo position. There's really no threat here to get taken out early.
He shoved it out. Nian Tanso's freezing this. So Knocknoon's actually getting more experience than Rux has been getting at this point, even though Rux has been double jungling. And so now it's going to be up to Nian to kind of zone Rux out, keep him away from these creep waves. But look at this, Knocknoon, you just stay under the turret and continue to get experience. Already level 3, playing the lane swap slightly better.
Yep, they are banking, however, on a Prototype getting a little bit bigger here. He does have the CS advantage by 6, but it's really not all that consequential to start this out if it can start evening up. And yeah, Knocknoon, if they let him get rolling, he has shown he can be a top carry, or bot in this case.
Yep, and at this point, they're just going to have to zone him off. Look at this Nintendo coming top, but there is a ward for him. That's going to ping Shorter Ace, actually.
He wants to maybe take a fight here. He did pretty solid in the last game dealing with Nintendo.
They're thinking of baiting it. They want a skirmish.
They do. Oh, looks like Rux might give that one away. He's forced to swag flag back to his own jungle.
Swag flag. Let's not ever call it that.
Ever again.
I'm okay with flag and drag. Just as soon as there's swag, things just get out of control.
That's true. You could get hit in the head with the flying Poro.
It's all fun and games till somebody loses an eye to a flag and drag. I mean, a swag flag
and drag.
Yeah. Well, now you're just adding them together. Swag, flag, drag. No.
Yeah, I think we'll scratch that one off the books.
Yes.
Nintendo gets his own red buff there, and he goes right back in for round 2, looking for it. Glebe is waiting in the wings as well, but Rux is going to actually just start his roam out. He really can't get a whole lot of experience off of this, and he's already behind Knocknoon, so he's going to see if he can do something a little more for his team. Actually might move for the Gromp. I'm not sure what he's doing now.
He placed himself that pink ward, and then he's wrapping up around so he doesn't take an unsafe route. Continuing to besiege this bottom lane turret. Final 5, despite all of that, are actually getting more damage on this turret and playing to that. But here's the thing is Rux, he's going to get dove here in just a second. The fact they're pushing this wave up, he did see them wrap around though. So he is well aware. Shorter Ace is coming around the side.
They're going to reveal, try to get him trapped in there. He is going to burn his flash to escape it, but that's going to mean the tower in the top is going to start getting fired down here. Prototype and Relay Team have already done quite a lot to this one in the bottom. Just trade back and forth. Here comes Shorter Ace, and he dashes out almost immediately, but they will save the tower.
And that's going to be a lot of experience falling into Rux's hands as well as CS. Really good job on this Aurelia so far.
Yeah, he's been able to keep up and up considering how shut down they've tried to make him. Now Gate, the all-in is happening. He's going to flash.
Level 6
first. On. Oh, he's in tower range. He's actually going to be able to dash away. And Gate chugged that potion, staying alive, and Huhi gets nothing.
Gate still has Ignite on him, too. He didn't even try to go for the counter kill. He's just trying to survive.
Yeah, he really played that escape quite well, and Huhi just blew everything he could to try and get him down. This bottom tower should get fired. No first blood at 6.5. That might be the latest one we've had so far. Now Rux, though, he's getting chunked out. Oh, Nian, he gets stunned in tower range, but the Ignite is ticking, and that's first blood for Nian Tanso.
You cursed
Finally
it.
happens as soon as I said it, I know.
You cursed it. But at least you got to say it before it happened.
True that.
That's going to be that turret falling down in bottom, but this top lane turret is going to fall to the same fate because there's no longer a top laner there. Rux getting just destroyed for that first blood. A lot of summoners blown to accomplish that, though.
Yeah, they expend quite a lot, but Fusion, they've been this team that's been unafraid to make those bold moves, and even if it doesn't work out for them, they will always try to get that edge.
I do want to touch on what happened in that mid lane. Gate didn't use his Ignite. It could have possibly been a kill onto Huhi if he had the presence of mind to get it off, as opposed to just trying to keep himself safe. But Huhi hit level 6 first. He was able to get the death mark off, and it almost looked like it was going to kill, but then he got zoned off of it. So now Gate's level 6. Gate has this advantage because he has his ultimate up. Also, it's the advantage over Zed that he needs. He still has his Ignite too. Goes for a needlessly large rod first because he's going to start making his way towards that Zonia ASAP. He doesn't even want the Morellos just yet. He's going to manage his mana as much as he can and not have to rely on that.
Yeah, on the other hand, Huhi has been forced to pick up the Hex Drinker here. A little bit of a defense against that magic damage, but all the same, still, Gate can get to a really, really bursty potential. And now that he's got the Needless, it's going to start hurting a little bit more.
Yeah, and I talked in Game 1 why LeBlanc is picked so much. Basically, it's the same reason that Lissandra is picked, except Lissandra's a flex pick, has really good damage, lockdown, and she got buffed in 4.13. People have learned her since then, and she's been bug fixed a lot. So her ultimate now just immediately stops people, even if they have a move block.
Well, she is a pretty shiny new champion. They've tuned her up in the shop. Now Nien is going to take an ace in the hole. Prototype, the duel is on. And Prototype, he is such a fantastic AD carry to be able to duel on a champion like Caitlyn, whose primary mechanic is trying to zone people away. Now Rux, speaking of dueling, will find Macnoon, but doesn't quite have enough damage to really do more than scratch that armor.
Yeah. Rux going for that maxing W first build, hoping that his items just roll on in. He gets that Trinity Force. Not looking for the E slow for the gank assistance. Instead, looking for the sustain.
Now this has been one of the most even starts we've had to this game. We've seen like laning phases go one way or the other in the previous 2 games, but this time, Fusion to Final 5, they started to figure each other out a little bit. It may be a little bit late for Fusion, but they are hanging quite tough here, and they have a slight edge in the gold just thanks to that first blood there, looking to set up a bait, but Prototype and Rule 18, it's like game sense is tingling. They're not quite checking for it. Uh-oh, Rule. Oh, as soon as I say it, he goes really low. The death mark is on him, and they just pop him down. Teleport's coming in right now. Shorter Ace might be able to get away from this one, but Prototype was not so lucky. Whoa, they're going to go for the dive. They throw it on the equalizer. Shorter Ace, he's going to burn. It's a double kill for Nien Tanso, and just like that, 3 for 9.
A really, really big play there, and at the same time, Gate, he's going to have to push this mid lane down, try to get something off of it, because it might just be the dragon in the sights of Fusion, and yes, it is going to be.
Gate, presence of mind, he can't really answer back with anything there, just going to try to shove this tower. It's exactly what he needs to do, but a big misstep for Final 5's duo bot lane, and Shorter Ace trying to damage control just ends up giving up another kill himself. First dragon to Fusion, and now Hui's looking to cut off Gate.
Yeah, we saw Rule 18 kind of be like, I don't know, he hit his stop button a bunch of times. He's like, I want to go towards this bush. Screw it, I'm going.
Face check sense is tingling.
I know, but that's the thing is, his isn't, when his face check sense tingles, he doesn't like walk away from stuff. He's like, oh, there's people in that bush. He's like, oh, no, I gotta get in this bush.
No, that's when he goes to face check.
Yes.
Oh, Hui.
What?
The 1-2 now. He stayed around a little bit too long, and that will be Gate finishing him off. This time, Final 5 collapse on them, but whoa.
He used his shadow, which put him in a really awkward position in the middle of the lane, just pretty much clay pigeoned himself there. He was very easy to pick off.
Again, missteps, rare missteps have been happening now. There's a teleport coming in for Rux. They're going to try to fight over this red buff. Rule 18, really no fear this game, even though he did just get popped down. Nintendo should be able to secure this as Rux moves around the side here. They don't want to take a fight just yet.
No, not just yet. And actually in that bottom lane, I want to talk about it because Nien Tanso was the shot caller of the team. So a lot of the plays in the early game, we saw it in game 1 and 2 actually, like 5 people from Fusion just show up bottom randomly with the TP of Macnoon. You're just like, why are they all here? Because the shot caller is calling these shots in the early game, and that's where they will happen. When the jungler's the shot caller, he kind of makes like objective plays and things around there. When the AD carry is the shot caller, brings people to the lane and then tries to bring them for the fight.
Oh boy!
Oh, raining it down.
Yeah, they were trying to, but Gate, he puts up his umbrella, moving away at the last moment. Macnoon with that clutch equalizer nearly picking him off. The Prototype's coming here to defend the lane, and then really, as soon as the laning phase ends, these guys just go ham. And Short Race gets a kick off. Nien Tanso trapped. They didn't even need the bubble. Shut down. Prototype getting it in the cage. He goes though, and the Lancer back 80 carry for 80 carry, and Shorter Ace goes down to boot. This mid lane might be Fusion's.
It looks like they're going to have to back off of this. Rux is right on the side, and at the same time, Hui is pushing the bottom lane. Gate is already on his way there, though.
Yeah, now Hui was able to grab a little bit more out of this, and this time his Zed splitting is a little bit better. It's a little early in the game all the same, but they have been dragging Final 5 around more than they were used to, and I love how they're just starting to adapt to this play. Yeah, Rule 18, the bubble's on Macnoon. I don't think he's got enough damage, though. I thought water beat fire, but not this time.
Oh!
Ouch.
He cooked him.
Yeah, but Rux will answer back there, and now they're going to try to make some plays in the bottom. They do take down Gate, and they look for this tower. Fusion is going to grab something here. 2 for 2 towers. It's 12 minutes in, and we've got yet another bloody games. Irene.
Yeah, Rule 18 going a little too hard there. He was kind of pan-seared on that one. But man, I don't know why you would duel the Rumble there. Rux was pretty far away. And then the bottom lane, Gate now has his ultimate up. Now would be able to buy more time. But the fact that Fusion were able to exploit that window and get that turret was really good.
Yeah, and they're also able to peck away a little bit more at this mid. Shorter Ace is there. He's threatening. He has the Sonic Wave on the minion, but man, he just eats so much abuse from Nien Tanso.
Man, that threatening.
Not anymore.
So threatening. Half HP. I'm coming at. Oh, you called my bluff.
Not enough fancy feet to get out of that one, but yeah, Fusion now, they're up in the kills, they're up in the goal, 2,000 here at 13 minutes in. The Dragon was already taken, of course, it'll be a while before that one comes back up, so Final 5 looking to defend in the meantime, but Fusion looking to press this edge that they have.
Yeah, Final 5 up against the wall a little bit here.
They really want this one, Fusion does.
It's only a 2K difference. That's like the big thing to consider here. Is it's only a 2,000 gold difference. Bunch of traps right there. Step on a trap.
Get hit by a bullet.
Step on a trap. Break your mother's back.
Not this time.
Nope.
Fusion, you can see that they're playing with this like very renewed intensity. They were very intense before, but now they might actually get hit up just a little bit. Glebe, whoa, he was pulling a Rule 18 right there.
Yeah, not quite as Rule 18-y as Rule 18 is. He just walks up in the bushes. He's still going for it. Where you going?
Got to get back to heal up some of that damage. Prototype defending the second tier tower quite well, but again, you see Fusion just trying to grab any edge they can. They know they have
Rux up
a
top.
bit of the stronger mid game, and they're trying to work their way into it as strong as possible. Here we go, Huhi on the retreat, but no one else is following up. Short race, hey, we might have a smite fight.
And this red buff being contested, there are 2 traps there, so they want it in their favor. Look at that.
Oh boy, the kickback. Whoa, they found Nintendo to get in the cage though. Who's going to win the jungler? It's going to be Shorter Race, but he might pay for it with his life. Huhi now. He's all locked up and looking for Rule 18. Finding a little bit more. Shadow step on back. A double kill for him. Flash for Glebe Blarby. The end. Ace in the hole, and he lives. 2 for 1, and it could have been worse for Fusion, but it's not over yet. Gate now finding MacNoon. And that's a whole lot of damage. They're looking to go in again. Prototype, he's going to actually flash over. He's staying alive with an X-Drinker. Shut down finally, but they'll also find Gate. And now Prototype goes down. Oh my goodness, it's a 1 for 4. Double kill to MacNoon.
Everybody's so close to going down. If Rux had TP in that fight, it would have been completely different. But now he finally shows up late.
It's a graveyard for him, and all he finds is just one of those mini brambles, and he's going to take it a poor consolation prize. Let's take a look at that again.
Yeah, really big here. Shorter Ace kicks him back, takes it, but then when he W's, he gets stopped by the Cataclysm, just short. They end up picking up Nintendo, but the fact that he got stopped by the Cataclysm allowed Huhi to close that distance, because he would have been about 4 Teemos to the left of that. They end up getting almost Niantanso just by the skin of his teeth. That's why he's running a potion right there. Very important. And Huhi decides to come back in. Buys a little extra time because he gets hit with a spell. He has that, and then boom, red buff is enough. Goes for the net instead of going for the risky crit there.
And that is a heartbreaker for Final 5, but for Fusion, it's a massive sigh of relief, and they just do so well in cleaning that up after the fact. That is classic Nintendo. Jump in. I don't care if I die. My team is going to mop you up.
Yeah, MacNoon came around that corner at the right time. Gate still a little low on the mana, but that's what he had to do to get that Zhonya's Hourglass, right? If he had the Morellonomicon, he would have been in much better shape for the remainder of that fight on Gate side.
Monomicon? Do-do-do-do-do.
Yep.
They're dancing over the dragon. It's appropriate to have some music.
Yeah, the double trap in the bush just gets me every time.
Like, yeah, it really doubles up on it.
He's looking for it.
Oh, they might go in on this one. Shorter Race, can he get the smite though? They actually peel away from the dragon to start. They kick back Nintendo and they take him down. No more smite available for him. Shorter Race, can he get the dragon? Yes, he can. And he comes on back, but he's already gone. They take down Prototype as well, a 1 for 2. They might find Rux here. They will pay dearly for the dragon. And Niantanso getting himself a kill. And another double kill for him. 3 for 1, but the dragon goes to Final 5.
And that's their first dragon of the game. They needed that desperately, but they trade 3 members for 1. Huhi very low, but he's going to be able to back off of this, or at least split push that bottom wave and get some HP back.
Is able to answer back a little bit more. This time his Zed play has been pretty spectacular. That double kill earlier on in the fight, just being able to zone off and get those assassination targets primed there. MacNoon now moving around the side. They really want this tower, but the defense from Final 5 has been too much so far. All the same, Fusion mounting a pretty serious gold lead in this mid game where they have their power spikes.
And MacNoon not doing too well in the CS department, but he's sparming champions.
It's quite all right, 5-1. You know, he had a pretty rough time in the KDA department last set he played, but he was camped pretty heavily by enemy, and this time they've sort of left him to his own devices, and he's really making noise.
And a really big part of that previous fight was Shorter Ace got the kick on Nintendo out of the pit, just really showing off his Lee Sin prowess there, and just killing the dragon himself. the Intanso was just pumping lead into him the entire time. But under pressure is able to deliver the smite on the Dragon, which is what they wanted. Because if he hadn't have gotten that, it would have just been a win across the board for Fusion.
Yeah, and Fusion did pretty good damage control on that too. The moment that they saw the Sonic Wave connect, they all peeled off the Dragon and said, okay, we're going for the fight right about now. And that really, that context switching, that only can come from the experience. It just was such an instantaneous reaction.
Yeah. Fusion really wants to fight you. That's what I've been noticing about this team, is they want to fight you, but sometimes they aren't all grouped up to fight you.
A little bit overly aggressive, but yeah, they sometimes are baited into Final Five's trap. This time they've still got a massive lead in kills, and they've got that gold edge right now. 2 dragons to 1 right now, and they will keep going. I think it's actually, sorry, just 1 dragon to 1. A little early in the game for 3 dragons.
Yeah, it's 1-1 in dragons right now. Looks like, once again, this happens every game. They leave the mid wide open, and it just gets shoved down by Final Five.
And a great wave. Rule 18, he might go down for this one, but he gets a bubble off on McNoon. Maybe they can take the fight backwards. The teleport in for Rux. Ace in the hole. McNoon's a little bit low. Here comes Shorter Ace. They want him. The equalizer's down there, burning away, but Gate's already there. I don't know if they got the damage for this one. Nien is going to take down Rux, and they just have too much. McNoon with the shield staying alive, and it could have been quite worse right there for Team Fusion.
Yeah, we saw the ultimate come out from Gate, but it just wasn't enough to finish off McNoon. He gets out of there. His teleport is almost up as well, and they're actually going to get this turret in the mid lane for Fusion.
Yeah, it really looked rough right there. Final Five looking like they're going for more. Maybe they are actually going to get dove on. Prototype with the death mark. It wasn't enough damage. He couldn't finish him off, but he still gets away. And they take the 1 kill advantage and the tower, looking for a little bit more, but greed does not always buy you what you want.
No, it does not. Sometimes it buys you an early coffin, too.
Back to Fountain, at least for Rux. He's back 25 seconds before the Baron will initially spawn. I think it'll be a while before either team is starting to look at that one, but it has been a critical part of this set for both teams.
Big thing about that Dragon is we saw Final Five get 1 last game very early on, and they kind of closed the game out off of it. They got what they needed. We saw Fusion in the first game get some Barons for themselves, but they didn't seem to know how to properly use it. Like, they like to 1-3-1, like they're doing it right now as I say that. They love to 1-3-1, just regardless of what champions they're playing, and split. But then Final Five just do a really good job of catching them out while they're doing that.
Exactly as you say it right now. McNoon getting double teamed by Rux and Shorter Ace. He's got nowhere to go, and he's got no flash to use. They're just trying to buy a little bit of time for Huhi, but he's taking way too long here. And McNoon, he might be able to run his way out of this one, but Shorter Ace is not keen on letting that one happen. They're just taking the slow burn, and it's going to be Rux picking up the kill. Meanwhile, Fusion is grabbing a little bit back in the jungle.
It's a kill for what looks like it's just going to be a red buff falling over to Fusion here. And now the collapse. It's a 4-on-5. TP is up, but you'd have to keep this fight going for 15 seconds.
Death marks on Prototype, but they really
Rux
can't get in there. Whoa, he does take a lot of damage now. Huhi has just avoided the wave. He doesn't have to ride anything today. Gate, though, ace in the hole on the end just to try to zone him off this tower. Final Five can defend, but they're blinking health bars. Prototype and Rule 18, how long can they really survive here? They've got it back. Rux is in the top. They might just give this one up. Huhi's going for more. Gate, he's got his Zanya's on teleport coming in for McNoon. They might find Gleep. Here comes Shorter Ace. He doesn't have the damage. He goes down. That's the end. Tanzo picking him up. Rule 18 flashing away from McNoon, but it might be all for naught. They take him down. It's 4 for none on this one, and they get the tower.
And that's a big thing, too. I said it was a 4-on-5. It was actually a 4-on-4 because Rux was still in that top lane, still continuing to push it. He does get a turret for it, but look at this. You're trading tier 1 for tier 2 at this point, and some possible damage.
They might lose more. The lasers are burning, but Nintendo's perfectly fine with this one. The death timers are still ticking, and it's only Rux he's not backing. They will be able to get this tower down and get away 2 towers and the 4 kills for just the 1 outer. Yeah, it's a great trade for Fusion right now if they can get away for this.
Oh,
Nien.
Over the shoulder.
Oh, yeah, okay. Parting shot.
Wow.
He's not out yet. Round 2. We might go in. Lee Sin. He's going to get it. He got baited. The Lee Syndrome was too strong. And Nintendo X says, that's just fine. I'll 1 to you.
And look at that Rule 18. Still like, come back. He wasn't done. He placed a ward over there. They're attacking, I believe. Rux.
Ooh. Death mark was close, but not enough.
Well, not even close.
I mean, he got it on, but that's about it.
Oh, yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, McNoon could interrupt this one, but...
Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
Oh, he's getting juked. Too late.
Sometimes backing in plain sight is the best place to back.
It's just what your opponents don't expect.
Exactly. Look at that Dragon coming up right now. Final Five already in position. Nintendo's going to get there first before Shorter Ace, and that could be a problem.
And they've spotted him too. They know he's coming because of that ward that they got on the way out. Now they're trying to keep the dragon on their side here, but if it does come to a smite fight, Nintendo, he has experience in this one. Shorter Ace trying to get the zone out. Oh yes, he's able to do it. Yep, that is going to be it. And all they need to do is get out of this one. Gate taking a lot of damage off the back of the culling, and Fusion just can't react in time. They're going to try for it. Does he have the Cataclysm? No, he doesn't. Equalizer's down. They're going to send the wave out. Maybe they have enough damage, and now it is Fusion trying to retreat, but he steps on a Caitlyn trap. Nintendo X going down, a dragon and a kill. How's that?
Good.
Awesome.
That's how that is.
There's no tower to take
for Final
here,
Five.
Yeah.
Final Five, they end up getting the dragon, and they end up getting that kill, and now they're going to start pushing down this lane. But at the same time, Ian Tonso, Glebe, pushing down the mid, trying to answer, picking up Final Five style.
Yeah, the same game that they've been playing. They've just learned and adapted to it. It's like they're evolving mid-game, and they'll be able to take down that inner turret. Nice damage between Nien and Glebe, and they will just back on out of there. Or will they? Shorter Ace. Whoa, buddy. Those wolves are not free anymore.
And traded a turret for a kill and a dragon. So they're doing pretty well in terms of trading objectives here. Rux actually showed he could duel Huhi. He has those items. I talk about how it's an item-dependent top laner. He's in a good spot.
You mentioned in another game how really these teams kind of work at just countering each other's styles, and it just goes so back and forth. That's why we've had 3 close games now, and it's just really incredible the level of finesse that they're able to do it at consistently. You'd think that after a point it just gets tiring, they just start making mistakes, and there have been a couple of them, but still the level of play that both these teams are at is incredible, and I bet you anything LCS teams, they're watching this intensely right now.
Yeah, I don't know what to think, because right now, ooh. Yeah, right now on 4.20, having 8K gold up. No. Oh,
the face checks. Oh, but it's Gate.
He's got his ulti.
Oh, and he's going to use it. Yep, that is going to be the solo kill,
What?
shutting down Nien Tonso.
Oh, he's burning. Everybody's coming for him.
Yep. He might be in trouble. There's some revenge. Oh, teleport. Wow, they might take a fight of it. Rux is here.
He's got red, so he autos.
They're going to follow up on him. Nintendo Dex, he wants to find it, but Magnoon. Oh, that was a timely Zanya's, but he might not live through this one. It's a 3v2. Nintendo just turns and jumps right on Gate, and it's Rux all
Here comes
alone.
Nami.
He does manage to pick up Glebe. They might find more. It's a 2v2 now. Magnoon, no wave to ride, but Rux is going to take him down a double kill. Can he pick the triple? Nintendo in full retreat, and the flankers were flanked in this one, but there's Huhi in the bottom, just trying to take himself an inhibitor. Nintendo buying time for his team.
Rux coming up really big there, 7-3. They're going to have to answer for this Shorter Ace, though. I don't know if he can actually duel Huhi.
Oh, I don't think he can. Death Mark's on him. He doesn't have the inhibitor just yet. Oh, Shorter Ace, though. He could go down here, but Prototype will be able to find him, and the inhibitor still stands.
And the fact that he took Exhaust there came up big. Once again, Prototype style seems to be very prevalent and very good for him.
Yeah, dealing with those assassins especially, and Huhi already pretty low from dealing with Shorter Ace, but again, they just did a fantastic job defending. Rux might have stayed a little bit too long.
Rux is really strong, so but he's going to have to book it.
Questionable.
He's going to have to book it, though.
There's minion damage, though, and Nien's going to join the party. This is why he's feeling confident. Rux is going to take quite a lot of culling shots, and they might follow him up. They don't have a Cataclysm, but he turns. Oh, Nien, he takes a little bit of damage as well. The Equilibrium Strike shut down Gold, and he gets a bit of revenge. Nien Tonso on his 10th kill of the game.
Yeah, like I said, I was going to make this point before, but the fact that it's 4.20, if this was 4.19, or even before that, when you see these types of gold gaps at 7,000, 10,000, 8,000 gold, you're kind of like, okay, one team is very close to ending the game. One team is like very, very close to ending the game. I'll just put it that way. I don't have to add on. But on this, I'm not quite sure if it's 4.20 or if it's just that Fusion doesn't know how to capitalize on the lead.
Well, it's difficult right now, and especially with all the new buffs and all the new mechanics that are really in there. Yeah, it's just such a wild west of a new Summoner's Rift right now, and they're trying to figure it out. Fusion, I mean, they stated themselves that on 4.19 they thought they were the best team in Challenger. Right now, they're not so sure, and you can see Final 5, they've taken advantage of that unsurety.
Yeah, in fact, they had to make these adjustments. Final 5 seemed like they've actually been putting the time in. Look at this.
Shorter Ace, he was looking for something. He finds Nintendo Teleport coming in for Magnoon now. Shorter Ace, he might not last the night, and he won't. The wave's coming out, trying to beat a hasty retreat. Prototype thinking twice, but he has to spend his net, and they bail out after losing one.
Gate not involved in that fight at all. Huhi looking for the ulti.
He might. He finds Prototype. He's going to get caught for just a second. Doesn't quite have the damage. There he does. That's going to pop down Prototype, and they'll keep going for more. Rux is in a little bit of trouble here, and Fusion, they're looking to push on inhibitors right now. Maybe look at the bottom. It might be an easier avenue in.
There's always somebody just missing from these fights from Final 5. Gate now finally showing up and being a part of this team.
It's a 3v5 here. I think they have to give this one up. They're going to catch the bubble on Nintendo, but maybe they won't go quite forward in time. Here's Shorter Ace. Maybe they can get him on the outside of it. They are going to be able to disengage from this, and they get that crucial first inhibitor and get out for free.
And at the same time, the Dragon is up in 1 minute right now. Fusion get it, it's their second one. If Final 5 get it, it's their third one.
Fusion definitely needs to get that one back and prevent Final 5 from getting that extra movement speed boost. That's a very critical Dragon here, but look at this. Final 5, they're making a move for Baron actually right now, trying to see if they can sweep the wards out. This is so sneaky. If they give up the Dragon, take a Baron instead, it'd be great. But look at these Fusions, they're not falling for it. They're all in the top lane.
They're just getting control of it because they saw with their wards what was going on. There's no funny business here. The Rumble ultimate isn't up. It's got a bit on it.
No teleport either. But yeah, Final 5, they don't have the damage for this one right now. It's very early for Baron. And no Dragon is being looked at as well. 20 seconds away on that one. Again, it's going to be so critical when that does come up.
Man, Shorter Ace is just going ham in these fights.
Every single time.
0-8, you don't get 0-8 without going hard.
And to try for KDA like that.
Yeah, and at the same time, you look over at Fusion's side, twice as many kills as Final 5, but once again, it's that whole story of they don't get them at the right times, and they aren't able to capitalize off of them. Like right now, this is the kind of like Final 5, Dragon's up, time for them to get some kills, and then actually get a Dragon off of it. Whereas Fusion would kind of get these kills and these team fights when there's not really minion waves in their favor, Dragon's not up, and it's just one of these things that goes back and forth. Look at this, the double Baron.
Yep. Now, Nien and Nintendo have quite a lot of damage. They're trying to juke this one out, and they have the Scuttle Crab vision here. Gate is going to check into the Shorter Ace as well. They see the wards, so they're peeling off the Baron right there. Although they're going to make a fight for it. Gate gets his Zanyas on the kickback. Whoa, that damage is big. Rule 18 getting a kill, but here's MacNoon. They're going to melt through Hui. They've got Nintendo, they got Gleep. MacNoon all alone by himself. It may be a double kill for Rux. There it is. He's going to back on out of that one, and the turnaround fight for a Final 5. They're still looking for it.
Rux blocking, going after MacNoon right now.
He might be able to take him down. Rule 18, so instrumental in that one. He just waved him up against the wall, and he might be able to find himself dead in a moment, though. But, whoa, they'll trade 1 for 1, so it is a 2 for Ace there. And they sent Gate back to deal with these minions in the bottom side, but Shorter Ace, he's perfectly fine to take this Dragon solo.
Man, before that fight started, there was about a 10,000 gold advantage in Fusion's favor. And this is just what I was saying. They take these fights, but watch this kick.
Oh, man.
Boom.
And it's just 1, 2, 3 punch, and that's
and
like...
the Baron's still hitting Nintendo at the same time after it got off of Nien. That Baron just does not like people whose names start with N.
Yeah, now MacNoon, he had a really, really clutch equalizer there, but it just came too late. If they had been trapped in that for a little while longer, that fight could have been a bit different.
Yeah, and I like the blocking there from Rux to discourage the poking down of Gate, possibly killing him with those electro harpoons. But I said it, like the team fight that Fusion takes is always one that they don't get anything off of, just because usually the timing of it, or when the minion waves, or when Dragon's up, because they just fight you whenever. Final 5 fights you out of necessity. They're like, you're doing Baron? Oh, well, we have to fight you, or we have to kind of capitalize on that. And then they get a Dragon off of it. They get a winning fight off of it, too. And that's what wins you the game. The fact that they have now only 6k gold up, oh, Shorter needs to get out of there.
Yep, he's able to beat a retreat. Again, yeah, it's been that objective mindset that's netted them 2 games so far, and they keep trying for it. They may be down 3 turrets in this one, but they're doing a miraculous job defending considering the deficit and how strong Fusion started. And for the Fusion side, it's got to be so frustrating that they're down 2 games, they're playing out of their minds right now, and they're still getting driven back.
You know what's really frustrating, too, for Fusion is the fact that they have to ban Vayne against Prototype, but then that leaves Lee Sin up for Shorter Ace. And people are like, Lee Sin isn't as potent on 420. It's all about the Warwick. It's all about the Pantheon. It's all about the Jarvan. Shorter Ace makes it work. It makes it work. He's right under there in the terms of those tiers, but look at this.
Speaking of making it work, Rule 18, he's actually staying alive here. Prototype, though, death marks on him. He's not going to last very long. MacNoon in the middle, and he gets his Zanyas on. This is the fight they were looking to take. He takes a double kill, looking for Rux as well around the side. A triple, and he's not going to get this one, or maybe he will. No, that's going to be Nien picking that one up. MacNoon already on retreat, looking for Shorter Ace, actually, who will get away, but it is a 4 for 1 trade. There's a big minion wave in the bottom. This might be Fusion's chance. They're on the Nexus turrets right now, at least who he is. Everyone else is joining the party. Oh, he stopped the port. Oh, he might sack for this one, though. Yeah, that's Shorter Ace now trying to back, but how late can he get to the party? This could be trouble. This could be Fusion coming back right now. They don't have the minion wave, though. They have to push off.
Big part of that, Shorter Ace was able to kill MacNoon. MacNoon has his TP now available. He could be another threat that they would have had at that push. And they're gonna have to just back off. They get themselves 1 turret when everything is said and done.
It was a very important turret, but yes, it damage control for Final 5. Shorter Ace really coming up with a hero moment there, being able to solo out Macnoon as low as he was. The inhibitor comes back up, so it'll be a little while before they can check into that one, and the top lane being cleared out here by Niantanso. But again, Fusion just grabbing inches and inches and inches, trying to go for a mile.
Yeah, but here's the thing, is Final 5 have that leg up. Favorite champion for Shorter Ace. He makes highlight reels on that baby, and he's all about that Lee Sin. He gets it every game. I was talking about that earlier. And then he kills Macnoon when he has lower HP. Really, really big facilitator of this team. Despite having all these deaths, he's setting people up. He's kicking people into bad positions. They get Nintendo, he gets a dragon, trades his life for it. That last fight, kicking the right person into the team, kicking Nintendo into Nian. Really, really crazy.
Oh, but here we go. This might be crazy. Huhi dueling it out with Rux. Death Mark is on him. Does he have enough damage to finish him off? He just might. And I think he's actually going to...
He's got to wait for the cooldowns.
Rux, minion damage. Minion damage. The red buff. Oh, Huhi might go a little far forward, though. He gets hit with a big ace in the hole. Rux dashing it, but he's down. The outplay, but he needed a little help for it. Now Gate being pushed out, and the culling was on him. Prototype finishing up Huhi in the bottom. And looks like Gate will get away from this one. Oh, my goodness. The Zanyas is going to save his life.
And
as well as Rule 18.
The heal and the Locket coming out there to save him. Look at that. The Baron being started up here.
They're not done with this one. Shorter, this guy never gives up. Dashing in, trying to get a kickback. What can he do against this whole team, though? It looks like he's just going to go down. And Rule 18 getting slowed up. This Baron, they haven't peeled off it. They know they have the damage. But Gate, can he get in there? The Monsoon keeping Glebe alive. Oh, and that's going to be Niantanso. I can't even say it anymore. Picking off the Baron. They all stay alive, but Huhi, he was taken down bottom there. And a brilliant effort from Final 5, but they just couldn't come up with it. They didn't have the members.
And now the Baron buff up. This is probably one of the best situations that Fusion has actually been in this entire series. They have the Baron, they're 10k gold up. They actually have a naked inhibitor on the bottom side of the map, which they haven't had before. They haven't been getting inhibs. They've been getting Barons sometimes, but they just haven't been getting these inhibitors.
Now they've got both this time around, so Fusion looking to try and press up this edge. Now that they've got one pretty solid, let's take a look at that. What happened again?
Yeah, so Rux, he's waiting on his cooldowns. He wants to be able to QE back in. Sees this opportunity, watches. He gets hit by the shuriken from the shadow.
Yeah. That was really unexpected for him, I would imagine.
Yeah, covered his base there with that bad shadow in the back. Don't know if Huhi even intended that, but it looked damn sexy.
It was insane. Huhi, he may not have been as great of a split pusher in the last couple games as Gate has been, but that was really the outplay that they were looking to make, and he really made a statement for himself. Rux, really close, nice effort, a little bit of help from Prototype, but I mean, wow.
Yeah, they're going to have to focus down Nian in this game. Macnoon is also having a really good game for himself. The 13-3-7 of Niantanso and the Baron buffed up team of Fusion. It's going to be a really rough game here for Final 5. Fusion looking to at least close this game out and take it to a game 4.
If they can grab some breathing room back in, it resets the momentum completely. And we've seen that it's a tough climb to win 3 games. We had to win 3 games anyway, so it really doesn't matter that much when you've got 2 games down, as long as you don't think about that. You just got to get it out of your mind. And this is what Fusion is doing right now. If they can just get this one crucial win, they reset everything. They've got such a massive lead. Now is the time to do it as the siege begins.
And that siege minion is actually going to keep shooting that tower from afar.
For free?
It's not able to burst through that shield, though.
Shorter is not very happy with it. Oh, that's going down.
It's not going to do anything for it. It's just going to keep regenning it up. That's the beauty of that tier 2 turret shield.
They will try to push in on the secondary wave, though, and again, just pot shots everywhere they can. Prototype, everybody here to defend this one, but the fights can still go either way, even with the Baron buff on Fusion. They have those extra stats as well as those super minions, but got to be careful. No regen anymore, I believe.
No, once it's in combat. It's just going to have that shield to help it pump up a little bit.
Still going pretty low on this one. It's one of those drawn-out sieges. This is a team that it's a little bit hard for them to do. They don't have as much range damage as they have had in previous games. Now they pushed them off, though. That's the way to do it. They're looking for a little bit more. Oh, that's Macnoon flashing in. Has the Zanya Shorter Ace in trouble. He's melted down. Niantanso getting yet another kill. 14-3 on Lucy in this game. They're looking to push down the inhibitor turrets, and they're running wild right now in the base of Final 5.
And that's going to be an inhibitor turret going down. And they might have the base in their sights, but they don't exactly have the minion wave to deal with it just yet. They're going to rotate down towards the bottom to get themselves another inhibitor.
And this is the safe bet right now, and it's really hard for them to contest. No shorter ace. He's been the wild man diving in there. Ace in the hole, but again, that's a parting shot. They get out. They got 2 inhibitors. They keep on going, and Fusion, rock and roll on in.
Yeah, they got to go get that dragon right now. Get themselves their 2nd dragon of the game. Stop the Final 5 from getting their 4th one.
It's a full 360-degree rotation the way that they looked at it, starting out in the top, moving all the way down. And they should be able to get that one all locked up nice and neat. No reaction available from Final 5, and this could be a rough game for them.
If they go back to top lane, it'd be a 360.
Okay, it was a 180.
They'd have to go back to where they started. Just saying.
All right. I'll give you the angles.
At the same time.
Geometry was not my best subject.
Okay, I could tell. Anyway, so Niantanso, he's been doing really well this game, 14-3-7, living up to his words. This game, past game, hasn't been going his way. Now Prototype not having the greatest game of his life either as compared to the last one. He has been the main target despite not being like a huge Fed member on the team. They're still going for the AD carry here from Fusion with the dive that they have and the zoning that they have from the Rumble Ultimate. Prototype basically got no auto attacks off in that last fight.
Well, they do know his carry potential, and they've been keen to not allow him to get up to it, especially what he did last game on Jinx. Yes, that was a hyper carry champion, but on Caitlyn, he still proved pretty deadly, and they just haven't given him the same leeway as he had last time, able to take pot shots continuously at this Fusion team. As a result, they've maintained this lead a good chunk of the game now.
We see Huhi running the elixir on himself there of Ruin. He wants to destroy turrets. He wants to just get these minions with that increased movement speed to the base, able to just wreck these turrets if he can get to them.
There we go. Starting out the siege in the middle. This is the last thing that they need to start taking to complete this one. A slow, methodical march will it be for Fusion. That's what they're looking for right now. Minion waves pushing in the top, pushing in the bottom, but they don't want to take any unnecessary
TP from
dives.
behind.
Yeah, that's going to happen right now. They want to take the fight. Deathmark's already on, though. Prototype can't get involved in this one. The Monsoon keeping Glebe and everyone else alive. Maybe not for much longer. Huhi is going to take down Prototype, and Gate, he's going to surely follow a double kill going over to Huhi, and it's a 2-for-none advantage right now. They can start pushing this mid. This game could be over if they can't defend.
There are so many minions here, and they're going to get just this extra buff. Huhi's going in.
They're going all the way forward. Oh my goodness, they just melt down those health bars. That equalizer, so clutch coming up in that one. That is going to be game. Fusion answering on back, and we're going to game number 4.
Fusion keeping themselves calm, collected, and able to come out with a victory there.